Hello and welcome to the Huddle. Liam Santamaria with you after a pretty interesting round 9. 3 teams went undefeated. Sydney, Tassie, Illawarra, all with single games. Melbourne and Cairns went winless. And the rest of the league, 5 teams split their double headers. And one of those was the South East Melbourne Phoenix. The win they got was a throwdown. Their second time beating Melbourne United, their crosstown rivals in recent times. And Gary Browne was the footlocker player of the game, almost triple-doubled, closed that game out, and is having a sensational first season in the NBL. And he's on the show to chat about it. So sit back, relax. Up next, Gary Browne. Gary, welcome to the Huddle, mate. Thanks for jumping on.
Oh, man. It's an honor to be on the show, you know. First time. Please not the first and last time, you know.
That's that's a lie that it's an honor, but I appreciate it. Hey, man, it's you guys had a good weekend. Well, a good finish to the weekend, the win over Melbourne, and then you're back at it today. And you tell me that you're in recovery. You're at the place where you do recovery. Talk to me about what you guys do for recovery after a session like you had today.
Oh, we're here at the Float House, local high. What we do when we come in here, we do they got all kind of stuff in here, you know. So you really got like a lot of options of what works best for you. But here we do the cryo. After the cryo, we can do Normatec. We can do sauna. We can do the floating too as well. They have massages too as well. I mean, it's a great place, to be honest with you. Like one of the best recovery places that I've been here. So Kerry does a great job too, like managing like what we're supposed to do, what we can, what we should do, you know. Sometimes she have a hard time with me because, you know, I want to do what I want to do, but she's very, you know, it's like
you're trying to get in the float tank on the regular.
Listen, the float thing, it's great. Especially like, you know, we're doing this after practice. So it's like when we come in here, most of the time we falling asleep, like while we're recovering at the same time. So it's amazing. I like it.
I feel like the float tank is where you want to be after a good win and you're just at peace with yourself and the world. But after a loss, you've been agitated.
Well, you know,
maybe not so good.
I don't know. It helps because, you know, you forget about everything. It's actually like you close the bed and it's like it's dark and you actually floating. There's music in it too as well. Like it's relaxing.
Do you get to choose the music? Because I feel like if it's not the right music, you wouldn't be very relaxed.
No, yeah. No, the music that they put is the perfect music, like for floating. You know,
okay.
You can't bump no hip hop while you're floating.
Okay. Also, man, you guys have. I mentioned the win over Melbourne United. You had the loss to New Zealand, but it's 3 wins over your last 4 games. Must be pretty good vibes around the club right now.
Oh yeah, I always been like this. Even at the preseason when we had like a lot of hard time at the beginning, knowing that we didn't have the whole squad healthy, but we actually kept a good vibe because of course it's basketball, but also like there's a side of basketball. It's like outside of basketball. It's like, you know, we human beings, we guys, you got people from different places too as well, and you got guys that we all kind of like the same age too as well, so we all know like in the same mood and same page, so we enjoy each other a lot outside of the basketball court. So it's like when it comes to basketball, we understand that, you know, sometimes you're gonna win and you're gonna lose, but that part of that chemistry outside of the basketball, it translates most of the time when it comes game time. And I felt like having the whole squad healthy, it helped us like knowing whose role is gonna be played at when it comes game time, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think we did a pretty good job with understanding that and understanding the value that that each game has, and you know, we got better.
It seems from the outside like there is really good chemistry amongst your squad, because like you say, like over the course of a season, a tough league like this, you're going to go through some ups and downs. You're going to have some injuries, guys sitting out. You're going to have some games. Well, you didn't play that great. Over in New Zealand, it just kind of wasn't happening for you guys. But the chemistry looks really good, especially amongst the import trio. You, Trey, Big Sauce. I mean, is that fair to say? From the outside looking in, it looks like you guys get along really, really well.
No, we definitely do get along, and we all get along with everybody. It's just of course we like the imports, so it seems like um you know we understand each other a little bit more because we know where each is from, So and most of us play like in the same leagues and stuff like that as well. But we get along, all of us. But of course, the trio, when it comes to like if we're gonna be talking about it, me and Trey live in the same building, so I seen Trey every other day, and then Sauce speaks Spanish, and so it's like, it's great. If you ask me, like sometimes teams trying to get the best players and not understanding that also like it works, like they gotta be great teammates. So it's like these guys, like they great players and they also great teammates. So even it doesn't make it easier, it makes it even like it makes it fun, enjoy to like actually go every day and having it work. So
I'm told, speaking of those relationships, I'm told from somebody at the Phoenix that you and Trey almost got like a brother thing happening right now in terms of like talking smack and kind of competing. If that's the case, who's kind of the bigger brother and who's the little one?
Nah, I ain't no bigger brother or nothing. And this are like the same age. Of course, I look like I'm young, but I'm pretty old, Don't know that, but we're just gonna keep the age unknown right now. But but me and Trey, it just, again, we live in the same building, so most of the time we see each other a lot, and we be messing around a lot. Like we always cracking jokes, so it's like that's why, like, they say that me and Trey got like, because we always like cracking jokes and stuff like that now. But Trey's a great guy, and again, it's just, the funny thing is, if they was to ask, or they were to say like there's a Puerto Rican guy on the team, they would think it would be Trey, because Trey look more Puerto Rican than I do. So that's
what? That is probably true.
That's
if you don't listen to either of you, without listening to your accent,
I talk like, you can tell I got an accent and stuff like that, like right away. But if not, Trey look like he's Spanish. Trey look like the baseball player,
He does. He does. Hey, and I feel like we're going to see the best of Trey Kell over the course of the second half of this season. That's probably true for a whole bunch of players across the league as guys ramp up and get used to their new surroundings. But I don't know, it feels like Trey's just kind of like just starting to kind of find his comfort zone. Simon's starting to play him a little on the ball when you take a rest from time to time. And I feel like that's going to be good for him. I mean, from what you're seeing at practice and the like, do you think that's right, that he looks like he's ready for a big second half of the season?
I mean, he's always been ready, I think, and Trey works hard every day. So it's like, it's just more maybe I'll say the fans of the league realizing, but we know what Trey does. So it's like we feel very comfortable for what he's doing right now, offensively and defensively. So nothing, we expect that from him too as well. It's not no surprise for us. So it just, if he can do it every night, if there's a night that he can do it, we're backing him up. Somebody else got to step up. So again, yeah, I think it's surprising for you guys, but for us, Trey's been Trey the whole time.
Right. Who else brings a lot of energy is Big Sauce. In fact, at the end of the game, like, you guys you had some fun with him in the post-game presser, and man, the lack of touch he had just at the start of the game. He's usually got such great touch on those finishes, comparing to the floater from the free throw line. But did you notice, you might not have seen, but at the end of the game, as you guys were getting towards the huddle in the middle of the floor, ready to have a chat, he was telling everybody, this is our city. This is our city. This is our town. You love it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a type. It's not me, but you need guys like that, and that's him. And he embraced who he is, and we're gonna back him up with whatever he says. You know, that's my guy. That's our teammate. So, but at the same time, that's him. That's what he brings to the table. That's why he's so valuable in every team that he's been on, and also in our team as well. So, and that's him. Again, I love it. He embraced who he is, and we're gonna be behind him right away.
It was a cool story. I chatted with Simon Mitchell before the start of the season. He was talking about bringing you in. He was talking about how they needed a point guard and they needed a guy, a closer, a guy who felt comfortable in crunch time and the like. And he talked about the recruitment process between him and you, and how it went for a while. Like you guys had been first talked maybe a couple of seasons ago. And then he said, when it came around, like that it got left that first time, like, hey, at some point, maybe let's see if we can make this work. And then when you guys circled back around and got in touch this time, he said it was a really quick process. You were available. He was keen. Bang, deal done.
Yeah. No, yeah. I can't really tell you the business side of it because it's an inside confidential.
Okay.
But what I can say is it was just more I think the timing was great in terms of like me coming this year, and also everything plays a huge part. For instance, the year that we talked, I watched them play, and they sign, and I watch how coach how he like with his players, and also like I watch the organization a little bit from the outside, from social media, or like seeing the guys that are there. Like I can actually tell like if it's nice to be in there or not.
Right.
Also, I had to talk with Tommy too as well. It's not only with coach.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a player, you want to be somewhere where they really embrace your skills in and outside of the court. So, because sometimes, as a player, you want to be somewhere like in a place just because that place has a reputation, or you think it's the best basketball there or whatever. But, you want to be somewhere where you can display your skills, and they understand who you are as a player and as a person too as well. And I think Coach and Tommy did a pretty good job with that. Every time I had a conversation with them, like most of the time, me and Coach, we didn't even spoke about basketball when we were talking, and then the same as well with Tommy. And I think this year coming up, like I got to see Creek playing in
Puerto Rico.
And for me that was valuable because Creek plays the same role that I play in Puerto Rico. So he's a franchise player. So if he comes to Puerto Rico where he plays as an import, he's not a franchise player. And the way that he was playing out there, it was like everybody was talking about, oh my God, that guy plays hard, like offensively and defensively. And usually the imports that they bring is a lot of guys from the NBA. So they only go in there like to play offensive. They're not going to try to play hard, trying to win. And they were like, he plays hard. He cares about winning. He was the first one to be there in the gym and like little things like that. So I'm thinking if he does that here, that means that he does it even more when he playing in Australia.
Right.
And having a guy like that, it also takes a relief a little bit of that side of having to have people like accountable, and having him and having coach and understanding what Tommy idea was too as well with the team, just as coaches too. It plays a huge part. And plus, again, I like the NBL. I always wanted to come and play. I was just waiting for the right moment to show up because the standard here, it's a very good standard. Like everywhere we play is an arena. No court, it's an arena. So it's like in our arena, it's like a very nice arena too as well. So it's like it plays a huge part. We got a great fans too as well. Like again, I think everything great thing for this year, and I'm extremely happy that that we all made this decision.
Now, you're speaking of the arena, you're firmly across the fact that it's the Australian Open now and not Wimbledon.
Although Wimbledon, man, oh man, I was mad. I like text and call me at the same time.
I think you're gonna need to go. You're gonna need to go. People are
You know
gonna need
what's
to take you.
To go. I've been telling everybody, like, before I had that press conference, I've been telling everybody, I'm trying to find a way how to get there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to box. You know, I want to sit.
No. Talk to Tommy. He'll get you VIP.
Oh, really? I'll say less. You compromise him right there. I hope he sees this.
That's okay. It's okay. Tommy knows how it is. Hey, speaking of kind of like who you are on the court, off the court, you have elite fashion sense. Now that doesn't mean much coming from me because I've got very poor fashion sense. But my eye tells me that you know what you're doing and what you're talking about. Where does that come from? Has that always been you ever since way back when?
Yeah, every time, man. It's like it's that saying, like, you know, you dress good, you smell good, you feel good, you play good. You know, it's like for me, that's how I feel when I'm coming. When I'm coming to play, because it's coming to play, but I'm going on my job too as well, so I want to look presentable. You know, I can't. That's the only time that I get to be presentable. Where else am I going to go presentable besides, like, you know, if I go somewhere to eat? Right. I don't go too much, so it's like if I'm going to my job, I like to cut my hair. Like, I do my own hair every time. Like, so it's like I gotta dress good. Like, I gotta feel neat, clean, everything. Like, that's just me. I can't. I think that's a Puerto Rican thing too as well, because it's like it's like in Puerto Rico every Friday, everybody doing everything. Everybody washing their car. Like, I know people, they don't go. Like, if they get invited somewhere and they didn't wash their car, they're not going to the.
Hold on, what?
Yeah, they're not going.
You can't come in.
No, it's not like they can't come in. People are just not going. Like, they feel like, oh, I can't watch.
Better not turn up with a dirty car.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, I didn't get no haircut. I can't go out there. Like, so it's like it created a habit, you know. So it's like, for me, that's what it is. When it's game time, we're gonna go play. I gotta look good. Gotta smell good to play good.
That's so funny. You're not gonna let Creaky cut your hair?
What you mean, Creaky? Oh, cut my hair. No, I'm good. I cut my own hair. I don't need nobody to cut my hair.
Okay. I once was playing against a guy. I was lined up at the free throw line for someone was shooting free throws. Lined up against this guy. Listeners in Melbourne will know who I'm talking about. His name's Eddie Cox. And I'm like, he's wearing cologne. And I was like, Eddie, you wearing cologne in the game? He goes, Liam. I was a young guy at the time. He goes, Liam, look good, smell good, feel good, play good.
Play good. I don't know who came up with that, but that's like a famous saying, you know. It actually feels good. That's me.
I was like, look good and feel good, sure, but smell good on the court, like, is that necessary?
You never know. Yeah, you never know. Oh, there's nothing worse than somebody that smells bad, man. And I have like a sensitive nose too, so it's like it distracts me. That's the thing, you know.
Who smells the worst in the NBL right now?
I'm not. No comment on nothing. I don't know.
Okay. Hey, I'll tell you, you must have used something that smelled really nice when you stepped out for Puerto Rico at the 2019 World Cup. Because it's funny, we talk about the recruitment from Simon Mitchell. That's when he first spotted you, going out there playing against Italy, playing really well, going out there and winning the game on the buzzer against Tunisia, which I'm sure was a super proud moment for you, advancing Puerto Rico in that tournament. What kind of memories do you have of that event, that moment?
You know, for me, probably right now I'm in a prime moment. Like, I'm playing basketball, so it's kind of hard to sit down and actually realize it. And it was big only because it's been 16 years since we didn't advance to the 16, and there was so much like stigma into going into the tournament and going into the game, and people talking about that not having the best players or whatever, or like, you know, all this stigma of it, and having the group of guys that we had and making it out there and winning in such a excited way it united us, you know, and it got the best of us in terms of like playing for our country and bringing so much joy to our country, because I think the game was like at 4 or 5 a.m. And I remember after the game, I like seeing people saying like, you know, that it was worth it that they stay up, but or like they woke up at that time, or like they were like kind of late to go to their job.
Mm-hmm.
Like you laugh because you were like, what if it would have been that with that result, we probably
Right.
would have asked, you know. But at the same time, it just shows you the commitment of you know, of our country, of supporting and watching the game. And in terms of the shot, you know, it's for me, it's I've done it before, so it's not no different. Of course, it's a different scenario, but it's for me, it's not it doesn't change nothing to me in terms of my confidence is always going to be the same.
That's
I
what
feel,
you do. Get big shots.
yeah, or I don't have to be
Make big plays.
plays. So like I like, you know, I live with the consequence that comes with it. I'm not afraid of it. I don't get nervous, or I actually like it. I enjoy it. I want it.
What is it that you like about those big moments?
I think since I'm like I love, like, my favorite player is Michael Jordan. So when I was watching I didn't watch a lot of basketball, but I watched a lot of movies. So it's like, you know, in the movies they show you the best of it. So as they show Michael Jordan every time hitting the game winner or stuff like that. So I feel like it creates something in my mind of that last couple moments of being able to execute, and you know, and that's, I don't want to say that's my favorite part of the game, but that's something that is on my mind all the time. Like, you know, even if I'm going to the court playing that 3-2-1 shot, it's always something that I don't think that it will die in my mind, you know. So,
The thing is, it's not just about the 3-2-1 and that shot at the end. It's crunch time. And I sat there and watched you execute down the stretch the other night. And I was sitting there with my wife and I was saying, this is why they brought in Gary Browne. This kind of moment. The Phoenix would have lost that game on Saturday night last season. Up 5 or 6. Chris Golding is kind of like hits a big shot. He's almost facing the other way as it goes in down the other end. And then the Phoenix would have come down, not rushed something, not knowing exactly what they were going to. And then Chris would have hit and they would have lost that game. In fact, they did lose a game very similar at a similar point in the season. But your huddles, and it feels just like in that moment you just kind of rose to another level of getting everyone organized, making sure everyone's on the same page. I get the sense that's kind of what you're talking about, not just the final shot, but crunch time, fourth quarters, last 5 minutes, close game. They're the moments you revel in.
I think, you know, I think it'll be a little bit unfair if I sit down and I say it's me, but because I think it's we locked in. We just, whoever speak at that moment, we actually believe it, and we actually like locked in into like, okay, we really want to win. So it's like, we know we can do it. So it's like, we all are capable of doing what we ask each other to do. So whether it is me, Quickie, Trey, Allen, Rowdy, that says anything, it's just we actually hold ourselves accountable, because when we ask each other something, it's because we know that person can do it. So it's like in those moments, you know, we realize that we got to go with one plan, and that's it. So when that moment comes, you don't have to freestyle, because most of the time, it like those final moments, yeah, sometimes you can freestyle it, but it's not the best of it. You want to know what you want in those moments, so it don't becomes like a lucky thing. It becomes more like this is what we're doing when it's crunch time, and it worked. If it worked one time, we do it again.
Right.
Do it again. So it's like, and again, it becomes fun. So now that maybe that fear that somebody else has in that moment, it goes away because we didn't did it so many times with what we say what we're gonna do that it works. Then when those moments come, it just come naturally, you know.
There's a couple of teams around the league I feel like are comfortable in those moments. Sydney's comfortable in those moments. They've got guys that went through it together last season. Tasmania are comfortable in those moments as well. Like they're all very much on the same page in that sense. And that's why we've seen in their last couple of games, close game, or maybe they're a little bit down, and they just execute through crunch time and close out the win. As you look around the league, and they've got those top two teams. You've beaten New Zealand once. They've beaten you. Sydney, the defending champs up there. It feels like you guys are kind of knocking on that door of that top two. And it's going to be a massive advantage for whoever finishes in the top two, because 3 to 6 are going to be involved in that play-in tournament. Is that the target that you guys have got your eyes set on, getting up into that top two? Or is it very much just like let's just focus on us on a game-by-game basis?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. We don't talk about no standings, no nothing, because basketball is it can go high and can go low very quick. So you don't want to relay your motivation based off being top 1 or 2. The motivation is how can we get to the final, whether it is first or whatever that number it is. So it's like it's more game by game. So it's like we played the game so much, and we play each possession with such a mindset of locking in offensively and defensively that when we face anybody or we be in any type of situation, it won't be something new, So I think we don't, and not even one time coaches or anybody been like, we got to end up top 1, top 2. We talking about possession first.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be in here. Then we worry about the result will come. But every possession that we play offensively and defensively counts as for what we will earn with that result that we do in each possession, You
were talking earlier about like being able to be who you are on and off the court. We talked about that in a fashion sense and the like, but it also relates to like how you play. Like you play kind of flashy at times. You look like you have some fun out there. Is that your approach to the game? Like, I'm not going to be a robot out there. I'm going to express myself.
Yeah, I don't think about it like I'm not going to be a robot, because I can play any type of game, to be honest with you. I'm not. It's just I feel comfortable with who I am as a player. So I know I can do it. So, and I've done it before. So I don't want to say there's no weakness into my game in terms of what I know I can do. Maybe, it's like if you ask me, I think I can dunk again. I haven't dunked not once in my career, but maybe I can get one chance that I can dunk if I put it in my mind. But so it's like when I'm playing out there, I know what I'm capable of doing. I'm very secure who I am. I also work very hard to get where I am and to be who I am. So it's like there's no doubt in my mind when I'm playing. It's just more like, how often can you do it? Like, you do it every night. That's impressive. For me, it's not one play or once. It's not impressive for me. It's like, how many times can you do it? Because I know how hard is it. An example, like individually, I know what I can do, and everybody knows what I can do. Is like, how many times can you win? Okay, can you win? And once you win, it's like, how many times can you win? That's what it becomes. So I'm at that phase in my career. I'm not individually, trying to win. It's like, I don't want to say, it's like if you watch LeBron James does the numbers that he does, but I mean, I'm answering this from like for him, but I don't think he cares about the number as much as he cares. being able to win. So, because now it's like the same thing with Luka. I don't know, Luka Doncic. His numbers are ridiculous, you know. But I mean, he does it because he has to do it and he can do it. But also he wants to win. Those numbers wouldn't mean nothing if you don't get no reward from that. I want to get a reward, you know. I want to be able to, you know, enjoy the work in that I put in.
So now there's 2 goals for the South East Melbourne Phoenix this season. There's the championship, the winning that you're talking about there, and getting you above the rim on a breakaway at some point.
Oh, get a dunk. You know what's funny? I'm gonna get a dunk and I'm gonna look at the camera and go like this. And I'm gonna tell you, like, we talked about this, but now, you know, our goal is it's each possession. I think I don't want to like jump ahead and think about championship. I think each possession to the point that it's unconscious. Like it's a habit to do it. You know, there won't be no bad game. If we have a bad game, it's only because offensively.
Right.
Because the ball is not going in. But besides that, it's just more being able to lock in and being healthy as well.
That said, let it be known, like I was a point guard. I know when you're on the breakaway and you've got someone who can throw down coming with you, it's kind of like an unspoken rule. You drop it off and you let them do what they need to do.
Right.
Let them be known to all the Phoenix teammates. If you happen to be that other guy, we got to get you that opportunity this season because I want that point down the camera.
No, I'm gonna get a dunk. I'm gonna get a dunk. If I get a steal and I go on a break, if nobody chase me, you got my word. I'll try it.
All right. I look forward to it, man. And I look forward to watching you over the course of the rest of the season. We love having you in the league. And it's been great to chat to you and good luck the rest of the way.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.
All right. Cheers.